All right, number 12, a certain drug can be used to reduce the acid produced by the body and heal damage to the esophagus due to acid reflux. The manufacturer of a drug claims that more than 92% of the patients taking the drug are healed within 8 weeks. In clinical trials, 207 of the 221 patients suffering from acid reflux disease were healed after 8 weeks. Test the manufacturer's claim at the alpha equals 0.1 level of significance. So this is going to be a proportion test. I'm going to go ahead and set up everything, and then we'll go from there. So we are looking at null proportion is equal to 0.92. And then the claim, he claims that more than 92% are healed. So alternative is that this is greater than 92. And then from there, we have p hat, which we can compute. From the sample, we got 207 out of 221. So let's find out what that is. This is 0.93, roughly 0.94. Let's just go 3 decimal places, 0.937 for right now. And we need to test NP, so N is 221 times P, which is 0.92, times 1 minus P, which would be 0.08. Test that this is bigger than 10, and it is. Trying to check the random sample. Okay, so because NP is equal to NP and 1 minus P is 16, 1 decimal place 16.3. 16.3, which is greater than 10. The sample size less than or greater than. So here's what we got. We got a certain drug, manufacturer tested claim that more than 92% of the patients taking the drug are healed. In clinical trials, 207 of 221 suffering from acid reflux. So we don't know anything about the population. If we're going to solve it, we're going to have to, I guess, just assume. So we're going to say the sample size is less than 5% of the population. I don't know if we're just looking at people who suffer from acid reflux, which is what it seems. But I would imagine that this is like a worldwide, that the population of the world, everybody that has that is going to be a pretty big number. So we're going to say it's going to be less than 5% of the population size, and the sample can be assumed because it doesn't tell us anything, so it can be assumed. So we're going to say that things are satisfied. Testing the population equal to 0.92 versus greater than 0.92 based on the claim. Test statistic. We're going to go ahead and pull up StatCrunch and let it do the rest of the work for us. I'm going to do proportion, one sample with summary. We had 207. 221, which was 0.92. We want to do greater than. Confidence level, the alpha, the rejection region is 10%. So that means the level of confidence is going to be 90%. So I think we want to do the hypothesis test and the confidence interval. We'll look at both of them. It's going to compute. So this is giving me the Z statistic, and then this is the critical. So they want a Z statistic that's going to give me 0.91, 2 decimal places. And then determine the critical values. So the critical value right here is going to be 0.164. And that's from the 1.64, sorry. And we can get that from the table as well. That's the 10%. Even if I looked at the negative 10% from within the table, like it might be on this row right here. This number, actually we're looking at negative 1 point. -1.28, which would be a positive 1.28. And what are we getting? Let's see. Make sure we got all this right. 207, 221, 92%, alpha 0.1. So that means level of confidence is 90. That's the confidence interval for P. So hypothesis test, critical value, level of significance. That's why it's showing different. 0.1. Sorry. 0.1. That's why it's looking different. There we go. So 1.28. 1.28. So we got Z-stat 0.91, 1.28 for our Z alpha. So what does that mean? P-value is 18, is bigger than alpha. So what that's telling me is that if I'm testing this, see if we're bigger than 92, we're giving ourselves 10%. We got a p-value that's 18%, so it does not fall in the rejection region. That's not the value right here. It's just saying this over is 0.18. That's the p-value that we're getting from our output. Not that one, from this one. So 18 is bigger than 10, so it doesn't fall in the rejection region. So we will fail to reject. There's not enough evidence to support that more than 92%. So based on this sample, 18% of samples will have a mean more than that. If this is the population mean, and we don't have enough information. So we're going to fail, do not reject the null. Insufficient evidence to conclude that more than 92% of patients taking this drug are healed within 8 weeks.